so plain and precious. Finally, the Book of Mormon is the keystone of
Emmanuel.
Just as the arch crumbles if the keystone is removed, so does all the church fall with the truthfulness of the Book of Mormon. The enemies of the church understand this clearly.
Our whole strength rests on the validity of that vision. It either occurred or it did not occur. If it did not, then this work is a fraud.
One of our brethren some years ago spoke of the payment of tithing as fire insurance. Nonetheless, the word of the Lord is clear, that those who do not keep the commandments and observe the laws of God shall be burned at the time of his coming.
This is not the church of Emmanuel, Christ, of Latter-day Saints, of Joseph Smith. This is the church of Jesus Christ.
God damn you! God damn you all to hell!
Travis went good song. So, daylight savings, I guess. Yesterday, I only did Mormonism for Dummy videos for the playlist. And as of Friday, my views were tanking, and doing a new playlist didn't help the views. So I'm not sure what was going on. Why I would have increasing subscribers and decreasing views. But nonetheless, because of the abuse I'm getting, that's the playlist for all of you. That is the basics of Jewish Mormonism. And so all the Mormons who have come onto my channel complaining and arguing and bitching and moaning that I don't understand, this isn't our gospel, this isn't doctrine, you're an anti-Mormon, antichrist choir, you're ugly, you worship Satan, blah 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 blah. No, it's you guys. Jesus is telling you to hurt other people. If it doesn't conform and comply to your great and abominable belief system, you then attack. And you should have caught on when you're attacking other people that you're in the wrong. Because that ain't love. Because if you truly knew that you were in the right, you wouldn't have need of attacking other people. You wouldn't go to their videos and spread hate and threaten other people to believe like you with threats of violence and hate. And so, yes, this is why you do not understand. This is why you cannot comprehend. This demonstrates how far gone you've been indoctrinated by falsehoods. When Joseph Smith says that Christianity is the great and abominable church with the great and abominable Christ, you don't say that you're the one true Christian church. You're supposed to just stop and think, what is the learning of the Jews? How is that religion different? And you're incapable of doing so. And so, replace Mormonism for Dummies playlist. That's what Joseph Smith was all about. That's why you can't see it. And so thus Joseph Smith, when he's warning you of the dangers of the great and abominable church, yeah, he's a prophet, guys. Sorry, ex-FOMOs. You got fooled by the great and abominable church too. You just got the wrong feeling and think that that's the right feeling. It's not about feelings, guys. That's not the biblical agronomy science field of learning truth. You're using the church's method, and you thought that you were being clever by using it back on the church. That's the Bergamite trap. To get you believing them so that you then become like an ex-Mormon that I had the comment of the other day who is trying to get back into the church, being fooled that the church is true because of him apostatizing. But yeah, I just got fed up with a Mormon who was commenting on Friday who said that I can't remember what he said, but I don't memorize. But that's what got me to doing. Oh, right, that's what it was. Social memory clicked in. He said, it's all about the Book of Mormon being true or false. And if it's true, then there is no debate. He never even bothered to learn and study the Book of Mormon, to learn what the learning of the Jews is. And thus my frustration that Mormons get stuck with a feeling, never producing the fruit of that feeling. You're supposed to produce the fruit of the feeling to know if the feeling is true or not, and Mormons won't do it. That's the scriptural agronomy, the field of science, telling you how to learn whether your faith is true or whether it's false. By their fruits ye shall know a false prophet, seer, revelator, and translator. And so if I were to get technical with you guys, using my educational field linguistics on you, I would call it supersessionism. It's also called the replacement theory. See, other people know about this too. The Jews were first. Everybody who knows history knows this. Everybody who knows history knows that the biblical texts date to the Roman period time. Everybody who knows history knows that Roman Emperor Constantine created Christianity. It did not exist before. It was created 325 CE, and he replaced the Jews. Supersessionism. He said, you Christians are now the chosen ones. And Constantine claimed to be the fulfillment of the man like Moses, the Christ, saying it is fulfilled. The latter days are here. I saw the Cairo in the heavens. And so we're now creating Jesus. We're naming him Jesus. And you don't stop to think because you're not taught Hebrew. You're not taught Greek. Because if you knew that Jesus was Hebrew as Joshua, you'd then begin to question, well, is it the Joshua from the book after Deuteronomy? Is he our Christ? And so then you begin to understand about why scientists, archaeologists, cannot confirm any of the historical facts with the Bible. The Bible is inaccurate as a historical document. Yes, it has Herod. We know that there's Herod. Yes, we know that there were King Zedekiah, Babylon. They can't find David or Solomon in Jerusalem. But that's the whole problem, is that they're going off of Constantine, who turned the Jewish scriptures into literal history. The Jewish scriptures are prophesying of their latter-day Christ. And Constantine said, I'm it. It's a fulfillment of literal history. And that there was a Roman period Jesus guy who came and saved the Jews. No, he didn't. Did you not bother to read the text? It was written after the Jews were utterly destroyed. The temple destroyed. And then these Roman period authors are writing about their Christ of the future. And you turn them into literal history as if Jesus saved people? Dear God, it's an abomination. Joseph Smith used the right word. And so then, yes, this replacement theory also applies to Islam. They too pulled the same stunt. But this time, they're also replacing Christianity. Muhammad also is abominable. He created Islam to be a terrorist group, to go around converting people with the sword, to murder if you don't believe his replacement theory. Claims he goes to the top of the mountain just like Moses, gets the Quran instead of the 10 Commandments of the Jewish Christ. Thou shalt have no other Christ before the Jewish Christ. Both Jesus and Allah, Muhammad, are false automatically. They're not the fulfillment. They do not have the right name. The Jews had prophecies for a reason, that they're supposed to be fulfilled. You don't have people claiming to be the fulfillment when they don't even fulfill any of the prophecies. You gotta fulfill the prophecies. Joseph Smith does, as Messiah ben Joseph. He even is murdered to fulfill the prophecy. And Mormons are just sitting back clueless that Joseph Smith is more valuable than they're led to believe. Jesus wasn't second to Jesus. Joseph is the fulfillment of the Christ, of the Jews. Jesus is a fraud and an imposter. He's the abominable false Christ. You have replaced the Jews, and you can't get it through to your heads. So here I am trying to save your lives as you continue your ignorance, which leads to your hate, which leads to your violence. Jesus ordering you to hurt me because you don't believe the truth. You don't believe Joseph Smith. You don't believe the Book of Mormon. You don't. You draw near to Joseph Smith and the Book of Mormon with your lips, but your hearts are on Christian Jesus. That's abominable. You guys are disgraceful. You missed the Exodus in 2020 because of your blindness and your hate. You are doing exactly as your Danite ancestors did to Joseph Smith, to me. And you don't see it. You don't care to see it. You're trying to build Lucifer's kingdom, and you don't catch on. You're committing crimes for the church. You are abominable. You have to pull out. You have to think correctly. You have to change your paradigm. And you won't do it. And too many Mormons who do know the truth try to straddle the line and merge the two together. You can't. You got to get rid of everything Christian. Got to get rid of everything Islamic. No other belief can implode the Jews. And the Jews is not the current Orthodoxy, because they too got punked by Constantine. The Book of Mormon makes it very clear which Jews we're referring to. The pre-Babylonian captivity Egyptian Jews. So, all of the prophecies are right there for you, Mormons. You just gotta erase your whole mind of Christian Jesus. You gotta start all over again. And it's a little late now, because I've had to be more bold and plain and precious, because we're about over with. This is it. It's cram time for you guys. You know, the workers in the vineyard parable, you know, hiring workers in the final hour. Yeah, well, you first got to learn the word before you can go out and preach the word. In the final hour, we don't have any missionaries who know the word. This is a great tragedy. Joseph Smith warns you, utter destruction. The Book of Mormon warns of utter destruction. That's how the Book of Mormon ends. Tragedy. Trying to warn you. The great and abominable church is going to murder you. Nelson sent you a death threat over 5 weeks earlier than Easter. Now, nothing has happened so far. We don't know what he's planning on doing to murder you with your tithing money, having paid the Judas price to have you murdered. We don't know if it's an empty threat, getting you thinking about Christian Jesus. But Easter is still 3 weeks away. That's how early he was this year. Nelson is trying to murder you. He does not love you. None of the apostles love you. How do I know this? They're lying to you. When a person lies to you, they don't love you. They want to hurt you. They want to scam you. You already know they're stealing your money. You're supposed to catch on to the forged documents of Brigham Young, because they don't comply to the Book of Mormon. Polygamy, the name of the church, tithing, they're all scams, Mormons. Adam on Diamond, Yeah, Jesus isn't coming, so they're lying to you. It means something else. It means the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is going to overthrow the government, and they've done it. With the Supreme Court, they've done it. The Constitution has fallen, and now we're headed into an election with a seditious conspirator abomination to run for president. And those MAGA states are not going to accept the election results unless he wins. They will secede from the nation. They will not allow another Biden presidency term. America will officially end this election. And so, yeah, they're kind of extending it past the deadline of Revelation chapter 19. April 2024. Again, you're not thinking in the learning of the Jews. This is what the Danites did in 1838. This is the Great Warning. They're doing the exact same tactics. What they did to Joseph Smith, they're doing to me all these years. They've done it already. I see the pattern. I know what they're up to. I know who they are. All I'm trying to do is warn you. And maybe you're a Danite and you know it. Maybe you know that Jesus is a fraud and you're that evil to come and attack me, to threaten me like the Danites did, to believe in Jesus or be punished. Is that the case? The Mormons who are left in the church, you're the evil satanic worshipers of the inverted pentagram of Lucifer? Knowingly? Is that what it is? Is all doomed that there will be no Zion? Because that's what's coming. You don't honestly think that Christians, after Trump takes over, are going to let you stay Mormon and get your kingdom for Utah? Nope. You too will have to accept the Christian Jesus, or you're going to die by their hand. You will be seen as the enemy, because Zion must give loyalty to Trump. If you do not give loyalty to Trump, he will murder you. Whether he gets SEAL Team 6 or he puts the army on American soil. It's coming. Joseph Smith was correct about his prophecies. Wickedness never is happiness. Wickedness is not Zion. Wickedness is not peace, safety, and refuge. That is the only way that there will be peace, safety, and refuge, is to have Zion. And this ain't it here in Utah. The prophets are lying to you because they hate you. They've deceived you because they hate you. They're going all around the world to hate, to scam people out of money, to threaten people into business deals so that they can make money. That's all they're up to get their kingdom back. And you don't believe. So the playlist. Quit complaining and look over the playlist. Watch them in order. People are not watching them in order. It's a whole new paradigm. Watch them in order.